Hi, everybody. Quick content warning for discussions of sexual assault starting around the 52-minute mark on the episode, related to also the end of the episode of Veronica Mars. But otherwise, and it kind of carries on through the rest of the episode. Otherwise, enjoy. Hello and welcome in, all you O-Niners, PCHers, junior private detectives, Hearst College whatevers, criminology professors, and the Fighting Fitzpatricks to Veronica Mars, or Life on Mars, the Veronica Mars Rewatch podcast where we go through episode by episode. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Emily.
We're here to talk about Season 3, Episode 7 of Vice and Men.
Did that make you emotional?
It did. Brought up the rabbits.
I have a lot of questions about what actually happened in this episode.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to the boy.
The boy.
I don't know why
the boyfriend.
Fitzpatricks, don't they know
Sully?
that Kendall died?
Only one does, the one who killed her. But he doesn't want to fess up about killing her, but he wants to know where the money is.
This is complicated.
So when they have to, keep an aloof presence to the wider public of, hey, we need to find the money, and Kendall's disappeared. So ipso facto, she disappeared with the money.
Interesting.
And then you're talking about Sullivan?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to
Sully.
Sullivan. When it's another great Vinny episode. That's all I have for that.
Yeah, fantastic.
I feel like we either get Vinny or Cliff, but we never get both.
No, you're 100% correct. Can you imagine the possibilities?
It'd be beautiful.
I know. We've missed Vinny. He hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah, but here he is.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny Van Lowe.
Oh, yeah. Being a...
Nuisance.
Yeah, exactly. A nuisance and a help at the same time.
Exactly.
As he is want to do. I don't know. But yes, I can walk us through Sullivan's trials and tribulations. But it's a long story. Do you think we should start at the top and I fill in the Sully gaps? They don't call him Sullivan. I'm filling that in. We're close. I
So
knew
you're
him.
really filling in the gaps.
Exactly.
You are the person who's filling the holes in the apartment's walls that you didn't even put in them.
Yeah, so before the episode starts, Sully grew up in Sacramento his whole life.
Is that why? Is the girlfriend from home? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where else the girlfriend would be from. I assumed he was a freshman. Assume. I know him from childhood. He is a freshman at Hearst College. This is his longtime girlfriend, Meryl.
Yeah. I couldn't think of how to spell Meryl when I was writing my notes.
How did you spell it?
Meril.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, but like Meryl Streep,
Meryl. Is that's Meryl Streep?
I think so.
Yeah, that's how I spelled it.
Mer. Oh God.
There's Merille.
I think I did that without the E at one point too. I spelled it different ways.
Just cover all facets.
I don't know her. I don't know how she spells it.
No. Mm-mm. There was that scene. I thought that was really weird. She just showed her ID to the screen.
That would be me. Every time I had to tell someone my name, I'd be like, I'm Emily. I'm like, how do you spell that? And I was like, the normal way.
The only way I know how. Well, no,
And they'd be
yours
like,
is
well,
the most common.
Yeah, but that's what I tell people. I'm like, Emily Elizabeth, Emily, just whatever classic Emily you've read.
Yeah.
It's me. None of this IE bullshit. Mally, Emalie, completely different name.
Mm-mm.
Not even the same person.
Yeah, that's a Mallory or something.
Meilee? Excuse me. Why? And of course, if your name is spelled that way, it's not your fault. But
No,
talk to your parents.
Talk to your parents. We'll talk to your parents.
The homogenous Emily Society.
Exactly.
White women everywhere would like you to spell it the same way.
Yeah, we'll talk to your parents. There'll be two sounds.
Oh my God.
All right, we can hop into the episode, shall we?
Yeah.
Blues can do. You
I've
can too.
also never not met a Emily that was not white. So not only is it like spelled funny, but it's a bunch of, it's like we were like, let's make this fun because we're white and we're boring.
Your Honor. But
I have a lot of opinions about the spelling of Emily.
It's you're our expert witness.
I am the Emily in the room.
You are. I put enter Veronica into apartment. I don't know why I started to write it like stage directions, but that's how I started my notes.
I wrote Veronica sneaks in to grab clothes.
Yes.
Dad asked why.
Let the actors fill in the script.
I'm really writing a Curb episode.
Now, Enrico, Keith, think about what Keith would actually say in this scene. He might say, "Why are you grabbing those clothes?" But take a little step further.
And he's like, "You didn't come home last night," and she's like, "You didn't come home 2 nights ago." And I'm like, you too. I can't keep up. Like, you just gotta. Where's everyone been sleeping? I need to know.
Well, I mean, Keith has been violating one of the 10 Commandments, and Veronica has been lodging at Hearst College, we find out. But, she's obviously still pissed at her father, no, she's not pissed. She's disappointed. Mm-hmm. And that's what she gives him, that talk, and leaves the house of like, hey, if like, this is why I can't, he's like, just drop it. Like, it's okay. That's my life. And it's like, it's my choice. And like, she's like, this is mine. So it's pretty much just like, I'm not mad at you, father. I'm just disappointed.
But she does tell him that she's been staying at Wallace's, so he doesn't like worry
freak
that
out.
she's gone missing. Because he called Logan.
Right. She was not with Logan because, when we catch up to Logan, he refuses to tell whatever the secret is, but it's apparently with Mercer, which red flag. And then also not a story to tell him to get him out of jail. Mm-hmm. Double, triple red flag. Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you had ever even just like proposed this scenario to me when we first started, like in college, I would have been like, I gotta go.
There's the theme of the episode is, really forgiving people for their faults and trusting in people.
Gotta go.
And I understand that. But the situation with Logan is so far and above and beyond that it's just like he's not being open. He's not being helpful. He'll show up, but he is not being a good partner to you. We'll get more into that.
He's emotionally unavailable.
Absolutely. And keeping gigantic secrets.
If you ever spoiler alert for later in the episode, if you ever burn down a building, you better tell me.
My fucking God. And at the very least, I would probably tell you if I'm leaving the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At
the very, very least, I think you would be probably pretty pissed if I was just like, where were you last night? It's like, I went to TJ with my buddies.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, bye.
Also, he didn't tell her he went to TJ.
I thought, so I remember they were going to go to Mexico, and then they didn't go to Mexico. They had these different events.
Well, these are different events, actually, because it was it was
whenever Parker was raped.
Yeah. So
I need a calendar.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, Logan's not going to tell us, so it'll be kind of useless. But yes, she's staying at Wallace's and Piz, and they're holed up in a motel because Wallace needs to study.
They're both cramming for like finals or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand the time of this school. Are they on the quarter system? Because then it would make more sense if they're like approaching finals. But I can't keep track at all.
Well, I don't even know what month it is.
Yeah, I guess it'd be November because we already had October. We already had Halloween an episode or two ago. So maybe I'm just like having a hard time of keeping track of where the school year is and how fast college moves.
Yeah, it could also be midterms. I don't know.
True. But Veronica having her lovely time at Chateau Wallace is interrupted by Piz arriving home, who is very confused why Veronica is there. Another Piz heavy episode, which I'm happy with.
I know you love Piz.
Yeah. He is a bright spot in this season.
He's like, what are you doing here? And that's literally the dialogue I wrote. I wrote, piss ass V, why here? Not even, why are you here?
Yeah, and I was going to say, that was what he said. It was kind of weird.
And she's like, Wallace said I could crash here. And Piz tells her she's welcome to stay. Because she's like, oh, I'll go. Like, this is awkward. And he's like, you can just stay. I think you're sleeping in Wallace's bed anyway. It's not like it matters. Then we cut to a scene of a girl crying in the hallway.
Yeah, just sitting on the ground outside her boyfriend's room, quote unquote, because I almost said TA. RA comes over and is just like, what you doing? And she like...
We really should have written the dialogue for this episode. It starts with a tirade about how you spell Emily and my being offended by white women, which I am.
It's a Veronica,
I am one.
It's a Veronica monologue. It's all in her head. This is what she's thinking about throughout the day.
And then, yeah, why here?
Why
Stay.
here? And she's waiting for her boyfriend, but he's not there, and so the RA brings her over to Piz's room because it's the enjoy.
Well, first he offers her some tea.
True.
He always offers people tea.
Always offers tea.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. Offer people some tea.
Have a cuppa.
Yeah. Have some Earl Grey, some Sleepy Time, some...
Sleepy Time is at the Flint.
Is it not?
Yeah, I mean, there's Sleepy Time. It's chamomile tea, though.
Chamomile, that's what I'm drinking.
Are you?
Yep, keep my vocal cords great for saying things like, what you doing?
What you doing? No, I am drinking my apple cinnamon tea.
That's nice.
I almost said apple cinnamon bears. There's bears in there.
She melts them down.
The RA's like, here, have some tea with me. And then he's like, knock, 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 Wallace and Piz, have you seen your roommate? And Veronica's laying on Wallace's bed in her boxers, ? She's wearing really weird like pajama shorts that I think are boxers.
Yeah.
Which like I don't blame her because like I've told you this. I think I should just start buying men's boxers for pajama shorts because I feel like it would be the most comfortable.
I sleep in them every night and they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like boxers are the superior because it's like shorts and underwear at the same time. So, anyone got any favorite boxers? You can send me the brand. Don't send me a photo.
The Calvin Klein like 6-pack that you can get or at the
Calvin Klein. Do you own any Calvin Klein boxers?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's like some cheap ones. Fruit of the Loom boxers.
You got some Hanes.
Yeah, exactly. Some Hanes.
But we have to figure out which brand is the comfiest.
True.
Oh, you have some Ralph Lauren ones that I think are really comfy looking.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking of that instead of Calvin Klein.
I'm like, I know your underwear better than you do.
Briefs by Calvin Klein.
But boxies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, boxies.
I don't want to wear briefs. I could just wear underwear.
Yeah, I don't understand boxer briefs.
Oh, boxer briefs I feel like make sense to me.
Did they like cuff around the thigh?
I don't know. It just seems like it'd be comfortable, but like not like up your butt like regular underwear are.
I guess so. It's been very long since I've worn like a tighty whitey like sort of underwear.
I wonder like, yeah, like I bet you'd feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'd be weird. It's just like they're clinging to me.
I'm gonna have to start buying you different underwear and making you try them on.
Well, I accidentally bought boxer briefs one time and it's just like, this sucks.
I feel like boxer briefs would be fine. It's like regular, because like regular underwear like rides up and stuff like that. Boxer briefs would stay put.
Yeah, but like I have thicker thighs. So I need some room. Need some breathing room.
Maybe you need to size up on your boxies.
My boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say my boxers are fine. That's not the issue.
Well, I've heard before that they've popped.
That's when I was a little bigger. We'd have to tell a story now. Back when I used to drink beer every single night, I went to and ate horribly. I
had graduated college, so you were like not getting enough sunlight either. You're just pale.
Just everything, just going wrong. And I went to the gym and I was doing squats and I felt them just pop, and they popped literally around my around my quad. And it's like, and I also this is my first time ever going to a gym consistently. I went like maybe twice or like 3 times a week. So this is like me learning to squat. This is not like muscle that I like popped out of these like boxers.
I just remember because I was at your apartment. You came back and you texted me that because I asked if you were going to run back, I think, because you had ran there or something. And you're like, oh, walk. I ripped my boxers. And I was
didn't know where.
I was like, oh, okay.
Just felt them get loose. And I'm like, I can't really check them on the floor right now.
Also, that gym, Santa Barbara had the worst gym ever where like the weight floor was underground.
It's the worst.
It was underground. It was literally a weight room underground.
So hot.
And
just
like
gross.
Yeah,
and
it was
smelled.
so obviously there were no windows because the weight room was underground, and then upstairs was all the cardio stuff, but like that didn't really have windows either. It was a really weird gym.
Yeah. Really small and not great.
Not great, but we learned to lift there. You ripped your pants once. It happens to the best of us. Yep. But yeah, it happens. Sometimes you rip your pants.
Yeah.
And as long as you can laugh about it.
Yeah, exactly. And tell people about it.
Exactly. Everybody rips their pants, even SpongeBob.
Exactly. I was just like SpongeBob.
You were. Did you sing the song?
I didn't.
Did I sing the song to you when you came home?
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But anyway, back to Veronica wearing boxers, laying on the bed or shorts or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, it's not what it looks like in here," and the RA's like, "I'm not judging. I don't care," which I'm like, "Fair, me too."
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, they're in 2 separate beds, so like,
right.
what could they possibly think was happening?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like. Never mind. I'm not here to be weird. Is pretty much what he's trying to get at.
And Veronica's like, "Oh, your boyfriend's not here. Weird. I can look into it, I guess. Let's go look in his room." And then we see the investigation trio or quad, which I'm like, honestly, like I would watch a show of these 4 looking through rooms because it was chaotic, but like very calm. Piz is just like looking at things.
Yeah,
like
Piz just like picks up his fucking what do you call it? The travel kit, pretty much of like.
Oh, his toiletry bag.
Thank you.
And he's like, his toothbrush is still here. And I'm like, fair assessment.
Great detective.
But like, didn't like, okay. Are you sure that's his? Like, how do you know? Veronica's like, aha, we must know he's straight because there's pictures of girls on the wall. And she's like, oh, those are his roommates.
Yeah, there's the entire wall on one side of the room is just covered with, posters of girls.
I used to not hook up with guys if they had posters of girls on the wall. Like I would do that. I would leave to annoy them because I felt like it was like a powerful statement.
Yeah, no, that's good.
If they were like obvious and obnoxious, and also if the guy was like, you're like, okay, goodbye, like I don't really want to be around you, you seem like a douche now that we're talking alone in one room together.
Yeah, there you go. My roommate junior year made an artful collage of a Victoria's Secret catalog on the closet in our room.
Okay, Victoria's Secret is very different.
It was very funny.
Well, and yeah, if it's not like, I feel like Victoria's Secret doesn't, like that wouldn't have bothered me, but it's like the intentionally like
right,
trashily thrown together like pinup girl, but not even like cute. Like if they were cute pinup like photos, it'd be fine. Like get some art.
Right. But
have
this
a little
is like
taste.
Silhouettes of women in like bikinis on like a dirt bike.
Yeah, or like the like you can basically see, or like half naked, not like half naked, but like literally half naked, like not wearing a top, like photos.
It's meant to be titillating, not like artfully done.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't want to look at her boobs. Well, I'm with you. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go and you're not going to look at mine.
Yeah. Isn't my imaginary girlfriend great?
Huh. Should have said that to them.
Oh, there you go.
Who's she? It's okay.
I don't know. Bought it at the student center for like $5.
Oh God, I hope they didn't sell that at the student center.
Yeah, probably. I don't think they. Where would you have gotten it? Yeah, maybe just like on the lawn, like at a booth of posters or something.
The lawn? Where did you hang out?
Or the quad. There you go. At like any college, I mean. Never mind. I'm just rambling. We can move on from the posters.
I'm like, I assume they got them at just like the shitty like liquor store down the street or whatever.
Oh yeah, that probably makes more sense. Yeah, I never knew. There's just like people just had these posters in their room when I was like growing up. It's like, why do you have this like picture? Why do you have a poster of like a girl in a bikini on a quad? Where'd you even find this?
And what does it do for you? Is it the quad or is it the girl?
So the girl, it's because she's really cool, but also she's hot and wearing a bikini on a quad.
Yeah. I was never gonna be the hot girl on the quad.
Me either.
I can't. I've never driven a quad.
Mm-mm.
I crashed a go-kart into a fence once.
Oh, there you go. Good claim to fame.
Exactly. No nudity, no quads.
No. Wearing full protective gear.
Exactly. If I was on a quad, I'd be dressed like a motorcycle gang.
I was going to say, football pads.
My wrist guards are on. So they look through the room. She looks in his trash to see if she can find any receipts or anything. And Veronica's like, okay, I have to go to class, but I'm gonna look to see if it's been charged or whatever. And we're like, where did he go? Where's Sully?
Uh-huh.
That's what the title of the episode should have been. Where's Sully?
Exactly. I don't like advice in men. It's bad.
Yeah.
I understand that it's all about Ben letting Veronica down and her lashing out at every woman in sight, but
no one says, tell me about the rabbits.
Exactly. Oh, boy.
That's that book, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm just saying it's sad.
Yeah, it's a sad book.
Then we're at a criminology class.
Mm-hmm. It's once again in a different lecture hall. Where does this class take place? Is he just like, you know what part of the class is you have to find it every week?
I've left you clues.
It's like a fucking Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly. But it's 101, so half the class doesn't show up because they can't find it. I
just was like, why is this lecture hall different?
There's the curve, I guess.
Finding the classroom?
Uh-huh.
So, their new assignment is going to be to plan a perfect murder. I could not plan a perfect murder.
No.
I'm small, I'm lazy, and I'm like usually tired.
Yeah, I can't guess what other people are going to do, so.
Well, and what kind of murder would I want to do? Like, I have no one I want to murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I also, like, I have some issues with this class. Like, plan the perfect murder. Like, that's not a good mind space to be in if you're looking into murders.
Right. It's like you're trying to do the Mindhunter thing for college freshmen.
Yeah, except they're not murderers yet.
Exactly. Yeah, no, he's a little dicey there.
Mm-hmm.
But he offers Veronica a summer internship with the FBI.
There we go.
Do they do summer internships?
I don't know. I've never.
What would you do in a summer internship for the FBI?
I don't even know what they do most of the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably. Are they listening?
Yeah, probably.
Hi, guys. It's me, Emily.
Here, file this report on us keeping track of protest movements across the U.S.
This is us. We do this podcast.
Yeah. Can you file this under B for Black Lives Matter?
But yeah. So also, like, after learning about COINTELPRO, like, do you even want to intern at the FBI?
Yeah.
Does that put you on a list?
No. Yeah.
Are they watching you now?
Totally. Of course. Watching everybody inside and outside.
I can't.
Secrets.
I'll stick to my my layman lifestyle.
Right. And I can't imagine that because of what the FBI does and trades in, that they would allow interns. I remember that internship fair someone worked at, like Rockstar Games, the people who make GTA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like someone asked, like, oh, are there like internships there? He's like, no, there's no internships. Like, their projects we keep our projects too secret for like us to like have internships come, like interns come and go kind of thing. So it's like, I can imagine the same thing for the FBI. But
even when I worked in HR, I mean, I started as a temp in HR, which is a weird decision, but whatever, for that company, not for me. But we didn't ever have any company I worked at. We never had HR interns because like you just handle such sensitive information and like all we're handling is like social security numbers and like payment amounts. But like, could you imagine like FBI status stuff?
Totally. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine what that'd be. But I do find it very funny that that's the dangling carrot for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she's not feeling the best about, oh God, what's his name? Professor, oh God, just lost it.
Landry.
Thank you, Professor Landry, because, caught him canoodling with the dean's wife, and then proceeds to run into another person that she's not super happy with, her boyfriend.
Yeah, so Logan's waiting outside, and he's like, I want to make up with you, and I want things to be right, and I want to make things right, but I'm not going to tell you what happened that night.
Right.
You just have to trust me.
Right.
No.
So I'm here to make things right by not changing my actions.
And she's like, how bad could your alibi possibly be that, like, you're not willing to use it? And he's like, your dad called me last night. Like, you thought you'd be there, but you weren't. It's like, so where have you been? And then she's like, well, I guess I'll give you a little taste of your own medicine. And, like, it's better if that secret stays safe with me.
Yeah. Then she flicks him off and goes, sit and spin. Oh, wait, no, that's Heather's.
I was going to say, I don't remember that scene. So then Veronica checks in on Meryl, Sully's girlfriend, and she's like, Meryl, any chance you know his cell phone pin? And he did. So Veronica listens to his voicemail, and a bunch of them are from Meryl because obviously he didn't pick her up at the airport.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's one from some other girl who's like, are we still on at 8? You told your girlfriend, right?
Oh yeah. Scarlett. And she was also circled in the freshman Facebook.
But it wasn't his circle because Sully took art, and so he has perfect circles.
Uh-huh.
Would you be able to identify my circle?
No. I'm sorry.
I don't think I could probably guess your circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that really fucked up circle there.
That's not what I meant.
I know. I'm just saying I have terrible handwriting, so I can't imagine that I'd draw a good circle.
Oh, I don't know. Well, after this, I'll have you draw one. We'll draw circles and we'll
practice.
Memorize them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Know my circle.
I need you to identify this.
You know how penguins give each other rocks?
I give you a circle that I cut out from paper.
Give me a circle.
It's kind of an oval.
It was good until he cut it.
That would be the actual thing. Shit.
You have any glue?
Exactly. Got to fit to pieces together, little tiny pieces. And then we go to the prison, the sheriff's station, with the world's most fucked up prisoner is like on the bunk bed.
I didn't even notice.
You didn't notice? He's got a head bandage wrapped around his head. He's got over one of his eyes, he has a bloody like bandage. Like it's like cotton, and then his arm is like, I think is also like in a sling. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy is just like sleeping soundly on the bottom bunk, and he is fucked up.
Like I had a big oopsie. And
Yeah, big oopsie. Now I'm in jail.
God, no. Oh. I would not go back to being college age. Like I missed it when I first graduated, but now like Veronica goes to see Mercer in jail because he's dumb and he's doing some dumb college things, whether or not he actually did the bad things.
Totally.
He's doing something dumb. And like I could not go back to like that level of stupidity where like I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't.
Yeah, totally. And he's also like exponentially wealthy and like doesn't give a shit. So he's that much worse.
Exactly. But he's like, hey, she's like, Veronica's like, Mercer, Logan says he has an alibi and he won't tell me. And Mercer's like, yeah, you shouldn't know. He's like, but trust Logan. Like, he's a good guy. I'm like, are you dating him? Like,
right. No, it's just that thing of like the bros. Oh, well, I got to talk him up.
Yeah. I don't feel like your friends ever really, I mean, they tell me like I got threatened that if I hurt you, I was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like no one ever had to sell someone on me.
No, that's definitely a thing amongst guys of just like specific dudes, like kind of like being like that, like amongst bros. It'd be like, oh no, he's like, you really got to give him a chance. Like, and like paving over like, yeah, he doesn't like give a shit like about like a lot of things or like, but,
he's really irresponsible, but like I think he likes you maybe.
But he's like good at heart, when he's like blacked out.
Like when we get drunk and cry together, it's just
Exactly. When I comfort him. But so he's in the holding cell. And he calls Veronica out on talking to the sheriff about, his cologne that he like got out of a GQ sample. And she's like, oh, well, what about the GHB? He's like, oh, it wasn't mine. And we're like, likely story, buddy.
Yeah, who keeps GHB that's not theirs?
Right.
Who keeps GHB?
Yep. Full stop. And then he goes on to say that there's a couple parties that could be in against him. The Phi Sigs owe him.
The president owes him money.
There you go. And also the dean owes him money because the dean loves boxing and apparently bets through Mercer's parlor.
Yeah, which just seems odd, but whatever.
Yeah, like you could find like any other type of bookie.
Mm-hmm. It's just strange. And Sweet talks about Logan, and then Veronica carries on her way to try to figure out multiple mysteries that are afoot. Mm-hmm. She's helping a lot of college-aged men, and it just makes me angry.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying her.
No
one's paying her. Mm-mm. Logan made her mad, so she should be charging him money.
Absolutely. But I mean, she wants to get to the bottom of it, of course, because it's Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
But
and because something happened to Parker.
Yeah, and that big old thing too.
So then Veronica and Meryl, Sully's girlfriend, are talking, and Veronica's like, maybe Sully tried to leave you, and he was a chicken about it, mm-hmm. and she's like,
the thing I've been alluding to for a while.
Yeah, and Meryl's like, then I'd know he's not dead. Like, it's weird that he's not responding, like, at all to anyone or anything.
Yeah, totally. Like,
if you went missing, I'd probably assume that you didn't leave me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be like, oh, God, he's missing.
Yeah.
Like, if you went out for, like, a walk and you didn't come back.
Uh-huh. Veronica.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, no. I realize that men are trash, and mm-hmm. in fact, most men are trash. But like, I have his car keys, so where is he?
Totally. And I know these are supposed to be like high school to college age, like kids. So you're already supposed to be like, well, how stable is that relationship with his like girlfriend at home? But
people who went to school with relationships, like 9 times out of 10, made it.
Bananas
in my personal experience, or they broke up and got back together.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Because like if you stayed with someone long enough to bother doing long distance.
Yeah, it's true. But just in this case, it's like Veronica is obviously projecting, mm-hmm. as she's wont to do. But also, not everybody's Logan. Yeah.
Well, and also not everyone's Sully.
Exactly.
There are a lot of Logans out there.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's not. Let me tell you, from personal experience, just having a bro like Sully.
You think there's a lot of Sullys?
There's not.
Oh, there's not a lot of Sullys.
Exactly. Yeah, not a lot of Sullivans.
Should I go find Sully then?
No.
I'm just kidding.
He's my bro.
I would never leave.
Good. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But
like I said, I'm not going back to college.
Yes. Just letting you know. Speaking of people not being Sullys, Glenn comes home, his roommate.
Yeah, and Glenn's like, oh, Meryl, you're here. Sick. Veronica, you must be the hot friend. Which I'm like, was that someone she was planning on bringing? Or?
Hey, I'm coming with my hot friend.
Glenn's like, yeah, I came back early because I wanted to, or whatever.
His stepmom took his Xbox.
Yeah, and Sully went surfing yesterday. He didn't come back. Weird. Meryl's like, Sully doesn't surf. And he's like, well, he said he was going surfing. Which is like a total like college roommate thing to do where you're just like, I don't fucking know.
Uh-huh. Well, he said that he was going to do this. And yeah, Glenn is just the worst. But he does drop the nugget of information that Meryl and Sully had a big fight before she came.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't even know if you'd need the room all weekend because you guys fought because of that fight on Thursday. And Veronica's like, there was a fight?
Yeah. She's like, oh, something to support my theory.
And then we cut to Keith. He's at work. And in walks Harmony. I almost said Harmony.
Harmony.
Harmony walks in. She's like, hi, Keith. My husband and I haven't had sex in 8 months. I'm going to leave him. That's what that whole conversation is.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
I haven't had a good orgasm that I didn't do myself in a long time.
Right.
We hooked up, and now I'm into this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, isn't this something special? Like, she's like, I know, like, it's not that simple, but like, I'm in love with you, basically. Let's take a weekend and go to Palm Springs, and then we'll figure it all out, and I'll come back and I'll leave my husband.
Oh, yeah. So leave him.
She's leaving. In walks Vinny. He says, afternoon, Mrs. Chase. And you say, why does Vinny know her?
Uh-huh. Or in my case, you just write, Vinny! Exclamation mark.
I actually wrote Vinny, Mrs. Chase. And I just hoped that I'd remember to fill in the blanks.
That sounds like that's his new name. Vinny, Mrs. Chase.
Like
AKA.
my book title.
Exactly.
Vinny, Mrs. Chase. He's like, hey, Keith, the Fitzpatrick's bros, they're like, hey, we want...
Fitzpatrick's bros.
They're brethren.
Yes, they are.
They, a Catholic brethren, they want to know what happened to Kendall and they want the money. And so you need to tell me or else. And then he's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. And then Vinny's like, okay. And also, unfortunately, like, you have to tell me because Mr. Chase hired me to find out if his wife's having an affair. And I have photos of you two making love in the Neptune Grand very awkwardly. He has his like mouth on her shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a really weird,
Staged photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
This husband and wife duo just need to divorce already because they're spending way too much money on private detectives.
Yeah. If I thought you were cheating, I'd be like, hey, are you cheating? And then you'd be like, no, or yes, or whatever. And then if you said no and I still thought you were cheating, I'd be like, well, I think you're cheating. Why do I think that? And then we'd figure it out and we'd go to therapy and we'd put the money into a therapist.
Yeah.
And then if, you were, then I'd change the locks one day while you're gone and you'd never come back.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
You don't spend money on a fucking private detective.
No, you get a therapist and one that you already know and love. That's why it's important to start trialing them early.
These people are just throwing away money.
Yeah. Get a therapist, a relationship coach. I don't know.
Anything.
Pick something.
Exactly.
So then he's like, you know what, Keith, though, if you pay me off, I'll make this all go away. It's $4,000.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's fine.
Not my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not married.
Uh-huh.
So then Veronica and Meryl go to meet Scarlett, who was supposed to meet with Sully at 8. And they're supposed to study together. And Veronica comes up and she's like, it looks like Scarlett is dressed to be a Scarlet woman. Like, how dare she dress so cute and whatever.
Verbally berates her for dressing like she's going out.
Because she's like, I'm going out after this.
Yeah.
And then they chat. Meryl and Scarlett really kind of like dig into like that. She's like, oh God, I didn't know he was missing, blah, blah, blah. They start talking it out.
And Veronica dismisses herself.
Yeah. Then she sees Dr. Landry from across the room. She goes over and she's like, excuse me, I'm going to pass on this FBI internship because I feel like it's hush money for catching you cheating with Mrs. Dean.
Yeah.
Odell. Mrs. Odell. I was like, what's the Dean's name? He's like, Veronica, it's not hush money. I think you're the smartest student in the class. I don't give a fuck that you saw me cheating. Like, I don't have any morals or cares in the world, it seems. I asked you to plan a murder for my class.
Yep, pretty much.
She's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, maybe I will take the internship. And then she looks over and she sees Meryl and Scarlett hugging and, just like Scarlett being nice to Meryl. And she's like, huh, weird. Maybe I'm wrong about all these things.
Yeah, maybe you are like completely wrong this entire episode. Not completely wrong. I take that back. Apologies. In regards to this case.
Yes. Yeah. No, the men in your life are trash.
Yes,
but
you were completely right on that.
The man in her life is not trash.
Yes.
And it's annoying and it's unfortunate. And you could just date Piz.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's right there. He's in the other bed.
Yeah, literally a bunk away.
So, speaking of Piz's bed, Piz comes back to the room. He is covering for Mercer's spot on the radio. He looks in his bed and he goes, excuse me, why is there a girl asleep in it? And she goes, you got lucky. He's like, that's Meryl. I finally gave her 2 shots of nighttime cold medicine or whatever, and she's finally asleep. poor girl. I get it. It's like, what do? You know, gotta knock her out somehow, I guess.
Yeah. Better than a anvil, I guess.
I mean, I personally always, my Lord and Savior Benadryl is like my go-to.
You just get wired.
Well, yeah, I take a Benadryl and I'm just like, okay, it's time for my 10K.
Exactly.
But hopped up on Benny's. If you watch Bob's Burgers, you'll know. Piz is like, well, where am I sleeping tonight? And she's like, if you get lucky, you'll sleep on the floor. And he's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Very, very nice guy.
Well, yeah. And I
Just
mean,
rolling with it.
Where are you going to put this girl?
Exactly. He gets it. He understands.
He's like, well, I have to go cover Mercer's spot. And Veronica's like, I'll go with you. So she goes.
Yeah, he's got the creative dance record vinyl.
Yeah, exactly. Because Mercer's time slot is all dance music.
And
it's a call and request show, which is important to note.
Yes.
Because he goes to Piz goes to like check in on the computer or whatever, and Veronica sees the schedule and he shows her the schedule and she's like, wait, so Mercer has to be here live, he can't pre-record? And he's like, well, no, it's a call and request show, like that'd be really fucking hard. And then they realize that Mercer couldn't have done the things or assaulted anyone because he would have been at work on his radio show.
Yep. During all those times.
Veronica goes to tell Logan by doing my favorite creepy move in the world, which is, hello, I'm in your room. You were sleeping?
Hello.
Logan wakes up a lot more gracefully than I do.
God, at least you aren't as bad as a couple of roommates I have that just shock themselves awake. It was just like, Jesus Christ.
No, one of your roommates literally would awake from bed with like it was like no alarm went off. It was just the way he woke up was like a shot.
Yeah. The two roommates, my roommate freshman year, great dude, just the nicest person, but that's how you'd wake up, because sometimes he'd take like a nap and he's like, hey, can you wake me up in 20 minutes, half hour? It's like, okay, sure. And then I go to wake him up and you do the exact same thing. It's like, Jesus Christ, like I feel like I fucking hurt you.
See, I'm just like slow and mean about it.
Yeah, you just look pissed.
I am pissed. It's like waking up a cat when you wake me up. I'm like, what the fuck? I will fight you. My claws are already out. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to do this. Okay. But she's like, Logan, you can have the proof that Mercer didn't do it, but you have to tell me where you were. And he gaslights her. He's like, yeah, why do I have to do that? Why am I being blackmailed by my girlfriend? Yeah. I would have been like, well, because you're not my boyfriend anymore, buddy. But
suck on this.
Veronica's a little calmer than I am. Also, I am looking at this with my 27 years of experience.
True, and not 18.
18, 19, 20, 22 even. Like, we don't know.
There's still some pretty big stuff that he's not talking about. There's a giant fucking secret just hanging out here.
Yeah. I mean, it's just bigger for him. But, like, I think most people have that, like, thing where it's, like, until you're, like, in your 20s, you struggle with, like, emotions unless you have been taught how to handle them.
True.
It's important to learn how to emotionally regulate yourself. And a lot of people are not taught that. They are gaslit.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have great role models in his life.
No, you could say he doesn't.
No, not quite.
And then he's like, yeah, okay, fine. We were in Tijuana. We were drinking these things. They're called flaming DPs. And he tells her like how it works. And it's like a lit on fire shot.
Yeah.
Which is to me just like, I hate any sort of like fucking like smoke show with like alcohol. It's just like a step past like me giving a fuck.
Totally.
I'm
no,
like, does it taste good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not here for your pageantry.
I don't need the dry. Like, it's cool if it's like just like a little, or maybe it changes color when you add a certain ingredient. Sure, whatever. But like fire, no. Nothing dangerous. I don't want anything dangerous.
No.
I want nothing remotely dangerous or catastrophic around drunk people.
Totally, because then you could end up burning down a motel.
I do remember one person in college, like a speaker fell off a wall and hit them in the head
Jesus.
At like a party, and then everyone's like, well, are they concussed? And it's like, how the fuck is anyone here going to know?
We're pre-med.
It doesn't matter. There's no pre-med at the school we went to. But they're drinking flaming DPs, and Logan's like, I was asleep in my room, the adjoining room with the door open. I could hear them in the other room though, and they lit the room on fire with the drink, and we bounced.
Yeah, the whole place went up, Veronica.
Which I'm like, how fast
What the
did
fuck?
that place go up?
Totally. You burnt down a motel.
And then you left.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Also, like, weren't your names on the room?
I guess not.
And so she's like, okay, well, tell Lamb to check the log at the campus radio station. She leaves. She goes back to the dorm room. Meryl's awake. She's like, Sully called. He left a voicemail. He sounds a little drunk. There's a lot of people in the background. So Veronica listens to the voicemail. It's definitely Sully. She's like, okay, we can track the phone now. She has like, I just have to go get a gizmo from my dad's office. And it's the morning time. Piz is asleep on the floor. He's like, will you bring me an egg sandwich? And she's like, yes.
Yeah, the least you can do for Piz.
And then she goes by the investigations office. That's what I was going to call it.
Yep. The investigations department.
Her dad's there, and he's like, we don't have to keep like avoiding each other like this. And she's like, well, we do, because like I don't agree with what you're doing, and I can't be around you while you're doing this. And he's like, well, it's different. She's gonna leave her husband. She's like, how many times have we heard someone else say that? She's like, listen to yourself.
We're in this business.
And she's like, if Jake Kane had thought that about mom, like, would it have been, would that have made that okay?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I thought you weren't this jaded, Veronica. And she's like, well, I wasn't. I used to have one shining example of who a good person was, but now here he is doing this. And I'm like, that's right.
Yep.
It's hard being a parent, but
yeah, absolutely. But this is awful.
Yeah. You got to be that good example. Then Veronica tracks the phone. They find out it's at the River Styx. She's like, no, we cannot go in there, Meryl. Meryl is like, it's fine. I'm just going to run in like a mad woman.
Yeah. She's like, okay, yeah, sure.
What is this impulsive, all of a sudden new like desperation, I guess?
Yeah, I guess after like 2 days, pretty much, almost. No, not quite, but she's like, oh, look over there, run.
She runs in. Veronica has to go in after her. The Fitzpatrick brothers like grab them, do stupid shit. But don't worry. Go ahead.
No, you can keep going.
Oh, our knight in shining armor, Vinny Van Lowe, is there at the bar. Pretends to be drunk. Pretends to take a photo of Veronica to send to Keith. All of a sudden, everyone's letting her leave. He follows them out to the car. Vinny's like, what were you doing in there, you idiot? You know they hate you.
Exactly.
And she's like, I did not go there on purpose. This bitch ran in. And he's like, speaking of that kid, I saw him the other night. Like they spent a bunch of his money, and they had found him and got him super drunk, and then kicked him out when they were tired of him.
Yeah.
So he's probably in the drunk tank. That was last night.
First solid lead. Yeah. At first, I thought it was just like, Jesus Christ, he's been in the drunk tank this whole time. But it's like, Brendan, think back through it. Veronica even visited the jail, didn't see him there.
He hit his head at the beach. I think he must have like knocked himself out at the beach.
Yes. So he was surfing. I mean, we're this a little later, but when we learned this from Lamb, surfing, got a concussion. Fitzpatrick's find this concussed dude. They take him in, get him liquored up, steal all his money, then do the thing and kick him out. Then he gets picked up by, patrol.
So then, they go over to the sheriff's office. They find him in the drunk tank.
Yep. He's like, this is where you kind of get he's like concussed, and they're like, we're going to take him to the hospital soon. And he like stumbles over and he's like, Meryl, I was looking for you. And it's like this weird touching moment, but it's like at the same time, it's just like, this guy is not well. You need to get this guy to a hospital now.
Yeah. The fact that he's been concussed for like 3 days is not
like, Jesus Christ.
And then they got him drunk. Like, the man's gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not okay.
He could suffer brain damage from this. Like, this guy is messed up.
Yeah.
Even more than the dude with the bandages.
Because he couldn't remember his name.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Because she goes and she's like, Sully. And he's like, man.
That is my name. And it's like, oh God.
I hope that if I ever forget myself, I remember your name.
Yeah. Same here.
Make a nice story.
Oh God. People are just going to tear up and cry.
We won't, though, because I won't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I'll be in. Yeah, exactly. It'll just be fine. Just like, whatever ether.
I don't know who he is, but I like him. We can hang out.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be us and just arguing on a couch somewhere watching movies.
Yeah, perfect.
My retirement looks good.
Yeah. Oh, definitely does. Can't wait.
Can't wait. No, I think I'd like to take my time getting there. Thank you.
Oh, I mean, just retirement though.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. We'll retire early.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But they go to the hospital. She's like, bye, Veronica. I'll see you next time I'm in town. I'm like, bitch, you're coming back.
I know, seriously.
I'd be like, never mind. I
Never, ever, ever again.
She's like, and trust me, I would have doubted too if I had never experienced real love.
Uh-huh.
And
it's
then
like,
I threw up.
Okay, Meryl, you're throwing,
You're 18.
You're throwing it on a little bit much. Your boyfriend Sully, who's a stand-up guy, if very concussed.
Why was he surfing?
Right. I mean, I could surfing alone.
Uh-huh.
If he doesn't surf, he could be learning to surf because he goes to school in San Diego. That makes sense. Neptune-ish. But, go with somebody.
Maybe he did and they lost him.
That's true. Just out to sea.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't stand for everybody. It is not love that makes Sullivan a good guy.
No.
I mean, he's a good guy to her because he loves her. But, at the same time, he's probably just a good person.
And then we see Mercer and Veronica's like, I gave Logan the information. He's like, yeah, the sheriff just hates me, so I'm stuck here until he can't detain me anymore.
Us too. We're going to throw you in TV
jail
lockup so we don't have to see you anymore.
And then we cut to Harmony. She shows up. She's like, Keith, are you ready to run away with me? And he's like, Harmony, I can't go. And she's like, but Keith, I'm asking you to go. And he's like, I can't go. So you have your will they, won't they? They don't. He doesn't go.
Now. And she drives away off the show.
Mm-hmm.
To Palm Springs and somewhere else.
Yeah. Logan calls Keith. He's like, I'm looking for Veronica. And Keith's like, me too. She's mad at me. And Logan's like, me too. And I'm like, y'all just fucking up.
Yeah, you just need to get it together.
Veronica is ignoring everyone's calls at the food court.
Yes.
She gets her pasta or whatever, and she has her drink, and she goes to a table, and then she does the dumbest thing. No private detective would ever do this. No girl would ever do this.
Yeah.
She gets up and she goes to return her food because there's a hair in it, and she leaves her drink without a lid on it. It's not her fault, obviously. No. This is not her fault. But I just it's such a weird oversight for a Veronica. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, this sequence is bad.
It's weird too because so she comes back. Someone has drugged her drink. She obviously does not know that. She takes a sip and then it's like, oh, the world looks kind of funny, weird. And then she's like, fine again.
Yeah,
and then
it snaps back to it.
At that moment, she didn't say, I should probably stop consuming this and leave.
No, and it's like she doesn't figure out that what it is until she's already like 3/4 of the way to her car. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I know this feeling. And it's like, but especially as someone with trauma related to this exact sort of instance, she would probably have picked up on this really fast.
Well, and just feeling weird in general, she would have just picked up and left. Like your fight or flight kicks in. She would have just left.
Or just stayed in the food court and called 911 or something.
I honestly think that the moment she felt weird, I could see her just going straight to Wallace's room. You know what I mean? Just getting up and going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting.
And real quick before we get to her walking to the car, Logan stops by the room and talks to Piz, and Piz is doing the like good friend thing where he's just like, hey, I'm not really like telling Logan too many details, but of like being like, yeah, if I see her, I'll let you know you came by.
And like she's been staying here, which is intentional. It's to
Totally.
dig the knife in.
Absolutely. It's like, I know she won't say anything, but she's been feeling awful, and it's probably because.
Well, but also then it makes Logan have doubt. Like, oh, she's been staying here with Piz.
Right. Totally.
Who invited her to go bowling.
It's
Piz is like, this is my chance.
The man with his radio show that's Crossfire Meets Jon Stewart. How can I compete with this guy?
You can't. So V stumbles to her car. Logan's leaving because he's mad. He doesn't know where she is. She's almost to her car, and she goes to unlock it, and someone runs at her from like behind the other cars in like a black hood.
Yeah, and she's like passed out.
Yeah, and she like falls to the ground and passes out. Her like car alarm, I think she hits her panic button.
Yeah.
And then Logan hears her car alarm going off. He runs down the stairs because he's like, I know that car and I can see it, and it's a nice Saturn.
Yeah. Boy, is it.
It's not the Astra though, and like.
Yeah. No, I mean, what is though?
And Logan runs to her. He finds her head like a little bit shaved in the back.
Yeah. It's like a warning, I guess.
Well, I think it's like they were doing it and then they heard Logan coming.
Oh, yeah.
That was my guess.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably more accurate.
Then she's like, take me home. And so Logan takes her home, and then Dad and Logan are like nursing her back to health. And they're like watching her sleep on the couch, except they're both asleep. And I'm like, this is a very dad and boyfriend move. A mom and like a girlfriend would watch them sleep.
Totally.
One time I accidentally ate a cookie with a little bit of peanut butter in it after a rave, and Lisa watched me sleep all night.
Yeah.
I took Benadryl, and then she watched me sleep all night. And because she was like, oh, I didn't want you to die. And I was like, I feel like thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to, but I appreciate it. It's nice to have someone watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or like a mom just watches many Gilmore Girls scenes where Lorelai just sits at the foot of Rory's bed or Paulinka's bed and watches. And then she's like, man, I should have been nicer to them. Like, they're there for me even when I'm not there for them. And it's like, no, you're still doing shit for them.
Yeah, that's not what this is. That's not the lesson you should be taking away. She also quotes Stan Marsh, the character from South Park, which I was like, wait, what?
I didn't catch that.
That's a weird one. Yeah, that's not the lesson, Veronica. It's like, wow, I'm glad these people are here for me. But also like I should just forgive them for their past transgressions because they showed up, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is. And just that scene of her getting drugged is a lot and bad and very, just putting her in danger again is just bad.
Well, and in the same situation that she's got trauma around.
Right.
It's so weird.
They were going back to that like well again.
Yeah, like can't we just like have some other drama other than sexual assault?
And
drugging.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so it's a weird one.
Yeah. Not great.
Not great. I give this one like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because the Piz scenes make it at least a 3.
Exactly, and the Vinny scenes.
But there's no Wallace.
No. Yeah, they can never have a full stack of characters. Mm-hmm. Mac absent for like 8 episodes.
Yeah,
I mean, we're only 7 in. Feels like 8.
It's been a while.
I think it's since the first one. I don't think she's been on it.
No, I think the first 2 maybe.
First 2. Apologies.
I don't know.
Yeah, because she's there with Parker. As soon as her and Parker hit it off, she disappears. She's been in wherever the fuck she's been for that wedding.
Bakersfield for the aunt's funeral or wedding?
Funeral.
Yeah, you don't have a wedding in Bakersfield.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm sure lots of people do.
Yeah.
She could live in Bakersfield.
She could.
But yeah.
Yeah, weird one.
Meh.
Not for me.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was going to say plugs.
Oh, yeah. When we're not complaining about Veronica Mars, you can find us on our other podcast, But Really Though. It's a variety, a smattering of things, whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. It ranges from UFOs to aliens to conspiracy theories. UFOs to aliens is a really big range.
Let me tell you.
To stuff we didn't learn in history, to, I've talked about presidential pets, so like really anything. You can find that on whatever platform you're also streaming this on. And it is But Really Though. The though is spelled THO. When we're not talking into microphones together, you can find me over on my website, But Really Though. I have a blog over there and I post my life and career coaching services. I help people get their shit together and we have fun and we enjoy it and we find things that make life a little more exciting to live. So if you are struggling with your life or career or you just need to get your shit together a little, I got you. Send me an email, go over to the page, and discovery calls are always free. You can schedule them right on that page.
Yeah. And you can find this podcast on Twitter and Facebook at Mars Rewatch. You can also find me on Twitter at PyleBrenton. That's PyleBrenton. And we just had the first video of a Let's Play go up on my YouTube channel, Burger Discourse. That's Burger Dish Course, all one word. And we are playing the 2018 RPG tactical shooter, Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. So if video games are your thing and you want to watch us explore the post-apocalypse with some animal friends, come join us.
And if video games aren't your thing, but like you don't mind watching them, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Just come along for the ride.
Exactly. Well, stay toasted, marshmallows.